Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony,
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
and every week Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to we take all of the various issues that we have and we drive a stake through their dang hearts, Steven. We treat them like the monsters that they are,
We
and we turn.
completely destroy them. We,
That's
we
what we do.
just turn them into dust because
Yep,
we are
we.
the chosen slayer. We are women and we cheerlead and we kill vampires.
That's very, very true stuff. How funky is our chicken? It's as funky as loose as your goose. Is the situation? That's what we're doing here. But every week we get together and we talk about our various issues and obstacles and the things that distract us in the world, and we try to make books. Steven, we've been doing this for a long time. I thought, you know what, Steven, we're on episode two. We're technically on episode, what, 216? So
Woo!
I know. Okay, so this is what, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to our colony. Thank you for giving our little show a chance. I know it's weird. You see two guys and you're like, oh yeah, do I really want to listen to those two? Well, who gave them a microphone? The answer is we did ourselves. I'm sorry.
Who's that better looking Ben Stiller and fat overweight Owen Wilson? Why did I forget his name? Who are these two guys?
Who are these Zoolanders? Yeah. So I figured, like, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you can, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help us. Comment something below for the algorithm. Just say like, hey, like, interesting to see you, and you don't look like Ben Stiller, Steven. You look nothing like him. It's crazy that you even said that. Also, like, I think I'm fit enough. I don't know what you're insulting my weight. What is this? No. But like, yeah. Comment some below if you can. We really appreciate it. But otherwise, Steven, I thought we'd give the people like a brief history of us, like a brief history of our show, and kind of catch up. Like, let's do it previously on We Have Issues, because dude, we're at the point now where we have new issues. Like, we are, like, we're further along in our hero's journey as far as like our comic book careers are concerned. And I think that we kind of owe it to the people, and especially like the newer viewers, to say like, hey, this is where we've been, and like, if you'd like to see some of that stuff, you can go back and like, there's a whole catalog of like hilarious, ridiculous episodes, and a lot of fun stories and stuff that we've and sad stuff that we've lived through. But like, now we're in a new place again. Like, here we are again, and we're starting fresh. So like, yeah, will you do like a previously for the people?
Previously on Anthony and Steven's life, Anthony and Steven meet in high school, bitter enemies at first, not quite, but they do become best friends over time. After they become best friends, they both realize that, hey, we kind of like the same stuff. We like the Lost Boys, we like art, we like comics, and we like music. Why don't we start working on projects together? Young Steven's like, hell yeah, but young Steven also has a crippling WoW addiction. So every time they try to make comic after comic, Steven just never finishes his end of the bargain, and the comics never get made. Enter the Ostrich Colony scrapbook. So after multiple attempts to, bring this love to life, Anthony, lives on his end of this. He's going through a life-changing event, and Steven and Anthony rekindle after the ashes of a former romance, and they decide, hey, let's try to make a comic, and we're going to make the most.
Steven, you made it sound like you and I broke up. And we're gonna.
Anthony's more than welcome to tell us, but since I'm kind of like the guy from Ant-Man right now, I'm trying to get everything into your system. So then Anthony is with his life mate for a while, and then they end up having a crushing breakup that ends horribly for him. And Steven's like, yo, bro, kind of slide into your DMs. How you doing? And Anthony, lo and behold, Anthony had actually helped Steven through a very similar situation, not even 3 years prior. So Steven reaches out, extends the hand, we start talking, we start hanging out, we play music with our buddy Mike, we make songs. Then we realize, hey, why don't we work on a comic again? And Anthony, the brilliant genius that he is, says, hey, let's do a podcast. That way, I don't have to be a mean friend and yell at you every time you don't finish everything. We can be accountable to the podcast. We both owe this podcast everything. So that works. We decide to make a comic called Play It Again, which is actually, the little brief story I gave you, boom, right there. If you want any sort of, aside from the time travel, I mean, actually, he did travel through time, but aside from some of the science fiction-y, magic-y stuff that's happening in the book, that's basically a telling of what happened to Anthony prior to us making Play It Again. So Play It Again happens. We finish it. We do an awesome job. We're super successful with it in our eyes. And
Hey, it was a #1 historical fiction and romance book on Amazon for a while. So I think it was pretty good. It has pretty good reviews. People seem to like it and like they connect with it in a way that like we kind of hoped for, but didn't necessarily expect to get that response.
Absolutely.
It's been amazing.
So then we threw some ideas out onto a poll after we finished Play It Again, because like, hey, we got our feet wet. Now let's do a comic-y comic, like a real comic. And we threw these ideas out onto a poll. Deathless won, so that Deathless won the poll, and Deathless has been our current love. It's been a comic that we've been producing. We are currently working on issue 3. Issues 1 and 2 of Deathless are actually available on our website. We have issuespodcast.com if you are interested in checking them out. Deathless has been a very fun project, and as you can tell, the main character kind of looks like me, just like how Play It Again kind of looks like Anthony. We try to just insert ourselves and live, lives that we don't want to relive, but
I'm too lazy to write fiction. I just write us into things, Steven. That's all I do.
It's just easy because then I don't, Douglas is me, so I can make Douglas look however I want in any moment and not feel bad. But so we've been working on Deathless. Every Kickstarter for it has been extremely successful. We haven't been the best when it comes to managing what we need to do with the funds, and therefore haven't profited as much as we'd like to, but we have gotten the book into hands of a lot of people, and we have so many amazing, incredible supportive friends or cultists or colonists that come and show up for every Kickstarter. So we have actually, through the course of these last it's 4 years, right? Or 3? 4 years. 4. Wow. So over the course of the last 4 years, we have built our colony, the Ostrich Colony, and we have an awesome network of friends and people who love the show. And that's basically where we are now. This is where you are caught up in terms of podcast lore. There's other various things that have happened to both of us, in our lives.
And that's what I was hoping to like. Now we can get to this. So, Steven, as if it's issue 1, as if it's issue 1, it's episode 1 of our show. What are your current issues? Like, what are you actually living through right now? Like, what are you struggling with?
Okay, so right now the issues are so different. But right now, just like anytime a hurricane, since I do work construction, anytime a big storm hits, my job becomes a little harder. Although this time it's been different because the company that we work for is actually turning away warranties, saying that they need to put it into their insurance claim. Like we're not fixing storm damage this time, which is so awesome. Last time, dude, you should have seen the warranty list that we had for every community. Like it was nuts. I can't believe they even allowed us to fix all that for free. It's wild. But anyways, so this time it's much more manageable. So that's not bad, but still working in the sun in Florida. It's been beautiful this last week though, so I can't complain. But aside from that, I'm a husband to a wonderful wife, and I have 2 beautiful little girls. And raising my kids, maintaining the relationship with my wife, and working 42 hours a week leaves little time to really get these projects done. And on top of that, I'm juggling Deathless. I'm juggling Bloodlust, which is a vampire side project we are currently working on with one of my other buddies, and then. I have like 3 or 4 commissions I still need to get to, and juggling all that time and finding time to do anything outside of that is really rough. But they're great issues to have. It's not like it's like episode 1. We weren't even sure. We were so nervous doing everything, but like we have a newfound confidence in what we do. So there's a lot more. It's a good burden, shy of my 9 to 5. It's a good burden to have right now, but yes, that's where I am since episode 1.
Yeah.
How about you? Where you are in a fantastic place? I
mean, it's funny.
You are literally in the best place ever,
Steven. It's been like my life has like. I feel like I've been rewarded for taking some chances that I normally wouldn't take, and like it's been really fantastic. So for those of you who don't know, I was just out of a really bad breakup with my son's mom, and it has been about 6 years. And I had, a few relationships on and off, and nothing really like there was no real connection that, and like it seemed like there were superficial connections and like, some like I had high hopes for some things, and then just life finds a way, and then things just get weird,
Well, I found a way in the strangest way with that one. That was so crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it's very weird,
but
right?
I'm thankful it happened now because
Yeah, so and
this
that's
situation is just
yeah, so that's the thing. So I was single. I was, to be like totally like candid, I was like George Clooneying it. I was just like, look, I'm gonna be single forever. Like I'm just not interested anymore. Like I give up. Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm just like I'm gonna focus on my books and like not focus on dating. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. So much so that like I was basically just saying that. I was like, I'm gonna die alone on purpose. And then like one of my friends from the internet DM'd me, and I started thinking that she was flirting with me, and then I was like, I wasn't sure, so I
was. She totally was. Turns out.
turns out, she was. So
she pulled a Tina basically. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna lob all this love right at
100% belly flopped into my life, in the best way possible, and I caught her, and so then we're just like we've been together ever since. Like she moved to Florida, and now she's just here. And
I gotta add, I love how much the original game plan of what she was gonna do when she came down here has just changed so dramatically. Like you guys are just together all the time, and it's just so beautiful and wonderful. And I'm just so happy.
Yeah. Initially, she planned on she was gonna come here, and then she was gonna move like between me and her brother, and like be about 3 hours away. But as we were spending more time together, she was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, please don't.
She's like, she got dealt her poker hand. She's like, you know what? All in. I'm just gonna push these chips all the way in.
And like thankfully that's where we've been. Like the two of us have just been all in, and it's been paying off, like insanely, like miraculously. And so it has been fantastic. That being said, there's still like that's something I'm navigating through this like wonderful, beautiful relationship, while also, raising my son and spending time with him and doing all that stuff, and like trying to, take him places and do things. And like, oh my God, dude, he has so much homework this year, by the way. Like, oh my God, like an insane amount.
Is he in fourth grade as well?
He's in fourth grade. Yeah.
Yeah. Cambria's grades actually dipped pretty low this year. And I mean, yeah, it's like, oh crap, I really need to get much more on top of you when it comes to these things. Like I need to be a better parent. I need to support you.
Dude, it's a significant homework jump.
It's a shift. It's a definite change in the education, the level of education.
Yeah. So like dealing with that, and then like navigating just like, spending as much time as I really want to, with basically the love of my life, I found I'm just like, it's harder and harder to find time to work on things. Thankfully, there have been some workarounds where, my girlfriend, it's KT Carlisle. She's an author and she writes. She's been on our show. She comes over and will just like write her books while I color, and that's been hugely helpful. Because I'm like, we're still spending time together. It's like parallel play. Like I'm looking this way, you're looking that way, but like
if you've been in any sort of long-term relationship, just the mere presence of being next to your person is like the rewarding like feeling. So
yeah, 100%. And then of course you get like okay, if I do enough and you do enough, we can like throw this stuff aside and like be together. And it's great. It's been fantastic. But I still am struggling with just like how I am. I always want more. I always want to do more. I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I always feel insecure about it. And I'm always just like, I'm gonna die. I'm dying. I'm getting old. And like my hair is thinning a little. And I'm like, I see my like wrinkles on my eyes now. I can like I feel I'm disconnecting from the youth in ways that I wish I wasn't. Just like it's so funny to look at people and be like, oh yeah, I'm not one of you. Like it's okay.
We're so different. The internet has allowed our generation to maintain a level of understanding much longer than we should have ever been able to. But yes, the rift is starting though. We're definitely starting.
Yeah. And
like the youngest generation is just like, I have no idea. I don't know how to relate to you at all.
Like, I see him and I'm just like, like it's like that thing where it's like, I see the appeal of some of this stuff. I wouldn't take it from anyone, but like, it's not for me. I'm just like, I don't, like I feel that way. I recently watched the new Beetlejuice and I'm like, I'm trying really, really hard to be nice about it. Because I'm just like, I'm usually really positive. Like I don't like talking about things unless I love them, or if they're like super terrible, and it's fun to like joke around and stuff.
Like everyone in society has agreed this thing is
Yes.
terrible, so we can all kind of talk about it.
We can talk about it because I don't want to hurt it. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. You know, I'm not here to like make anyone's day worse. You know, we try to help as much as we can. But like the new Beetlejuice isn't good, and like, and I know it's subjective. You're allowed to like it, and that's my point. Is I'm just like like there are things that like culturally this is happening, and people are like, oh, this is like the general zeitgeist's opinion of this thing, and I'm like, I don't have that opinion, and I don't know what to do about it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just like with anything else. I'm like, I just want to connect with someone about this, but only in certain ways. I don't want to like bond over hatred, but I kind of do with this a little.
So you're saying Beetlejuice 2 is the equivalent of like if Beetlejuice 1 is like listening to Senses Fail and being so excited to see them live, and then Beetlejuice 2 is actually seeing Buddy sing live and then realizing that those albums are a bunch of lies.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Oh man. But like, yeah, it's just been like realizing these things, like aging a little more, and recognizing like, hey, I have less and less time now. It's been tricky. You know, it's been tricky to manage all this stuff, and a lot of it, or a lot of like my frustration is just like managing that time, but then also feeling like I'm always behind with everything no matter what, where I'm like, we should be done with issue 5 already, but we're on issue 3 and I'm not done coloring issue 3, and I'm just like, so I'm just like, you know, it's the situation where it's like you want to already be at the end instead of like recognizing where you are.
Well, yeah, because realizing that there's issue 4 and 5 still of Deathless is daunting. But my hope is that like I just want like I don't know what's going to ultimately come of Bloodlust, but like I do want to finish it just because it was like a project that we like went in on it, and then it's one of those things where we hope it pays off. But yeah, like I'm definitely missing working on Deathless. I just literally feel like I can't right now, like because I still need to get like 3 pages on Bloodlust, you know, and the time is over. I just need to like literally just work around the clock and get it finished. But yeah, 4 and 5 are going to be exciting though.
It is, yeah.
Not to like, not to derail, but you had. I was just thinking like I want to finish this story so bad.
I know. So, but to that effect, one of my issues has always been like I've been working retail for too long, dude. You've been working outside and like doing construction for too long, and it's like,
yeah, my body's starting to like I'm finally getting to that point where like my youth isn't there anymore, like what you're saying, and like. Yeah. Like things just hurt, and it's not like they get better, they just hurt less when I've recovered. You know what I'm saying? Like I can tell my arms, I can tell like in like 15, 20 years, I'm gonna have problems. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things that aren't gonna recover 100, and hopefully we'll have some sort of super like nanotechnology that can just repair.
You have Jack's arms. Like, yeah. But dude, and I feel the same exact way, but like mentally. You know, like I go to work,
like you're like 10 levels ahead of all of us with dealing with customers. So like,
dude, it's like it drives me.
You've had every conversation that you could possibly have with someone, and
and it's one of those things where like the customers are one thing, and recently the corporate aspect of my job has been like absolutely insane. Like all they care about is getting people to sign up for credit cards. And they're making it everyone's problem, like in the worst possible way.
Let's be real, these brick and mortar stores are finally like they should have been dead 5 years ago. But I mean, you know, that Reaper is coming for all of them now. Like Amazon is just consuming more and more. Like I can't tell you the last time I went to a craft store. Why do I need to? I can get Amazon to deliver everything cheaper.
Yeah,
like
very true.
Even like the like specialty stuff, like my non-photo blue pencils and things like that. Like everything comes from there, and it's free. It comes free shipping, and it's there.
And like what's been very just odd is you see these situations where it's like, okay, they get rid of the coupons, and people get mad, but then they have coupons for online only. So, and here's the thing: it's not like online as if they're going to ship things to you. It's online as if we're going to do the shopping for you in the store and you have to come pick it up. It makes no sense. So they're like,
it doesn't.
Yeah. So they're rewarding people for not coming into the store. So I'm like, how do you expect to reward? Like, you're not rewarding the people who are in the store. So it seems as if they're trying to crash the brick and mortar aspect of the store itself. Like so much of
it's basically like what's happened with like DoorDash and stuff like that is one aspect of it, but also like the online ordering to in-store pickup situation with food. Like really what it is it's just super greed on the side of the company, because
Oh yeah,
I know they're not hiring more people to make the online orders.
of
What
course.
they're doing is making the people that are already busting their asses in these restaurants and these
Yep.
businesses take time out of their busting ass to bust more ass so they
Hmm.
can accommodate customers that aren't actually physically even in the store. It's
Yep.
literally just like making sure your employees are working nonstop
Yeah.
to like just
Yeah,
to
dude. And
add a few dollars to the total of the day.
it's just been like so infuriating and so like it's just discouraging. You know, like every aspect of it, I'm just like basically what happens is, the crap rolls downhill and it only stops when someone goes, "Hey, what you're saying makes no sense. Can you stop?" And like
Mm-hmm.
that, but unfortunately that person is me. You know what I mean? So like I'm always just like, "Hey, stop. Like this is stupid. Like what you're saying to me right now makes no sense, and you should know this, and you should be saying that to your boss, and they should be saying that to their boss. And like it should never have gotten to me. This is insane. Like this was a first draft idea. It should have died in an email. Like stop it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many of those that it's like it's just like it's disheartening, and it gets to the point where like on top of that we're dealing with like frustrating customers and ridiculous things, and we're getting it's just so much, and then it's just taking time away from doing things that I know would be beneficial to us. And like I know we can have a good career in comics and writing books and making things and making movies and doing all this stuff.
Or
I
at
know.
least just telling stories in some
Yes.
sort of medium,
Yes. And
right?
I
Like
know
that's really
I
what it
know
is.
I know we could be successful doing those things. It's just a matter of having the time and like energy to do it. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like everyone, I'm sure anyone watching this far struggles with exactly that, like not having the spoons, like feeling like all of the stovetops are on and you're not cooking anything you want to eat. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, I'm just boiling a bunch of crap that other people are throwing in my pots. Where's mine? Like at what point do
Mm-hmm.
I get something nutritious? So it's just like it's soul crushing to an extent. And dude, like consistently my girlfriend has been saying like she wants to help me, and like she wants to support me and basically let me be a stay-at-home Anthony so I can just fulfill my dreams. And I'm just like, that's a huge commitment for me, and it's very scary to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, but at the same time I'm like, I feel like I'm literally living my dream. Like I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
like I found this person who's like, I can't tell you, like I love her so much and we have so much in common and we have so much fun when we're together, and it's literally unlike any relationship I've ever been in. Like I just feel like it's so comfortable and perfect. And like, dude, like I mean I told you like early on I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl. I was like, I just
It's so funny because KT is like personality wise basically girl me, and Tina is basically girl you, so we've basically married each other.
yeah,
Like
that's what
it's
I
pretty it's pretty
Even
wild.
I already said it is the dream. I already said that.
We have literally found our counterparts in women, and
That's right. And
we're just living vicariously through them.
it's perfect and it works. And Steven, like, and I want to marry her. And but it is scary. It is scary to take that leap as far as like letting someone do that for me. It's like it's
Mhm.
that's very scary. But I do know that like if I did that, it would give me so much time. Like I would, like I would color the comic within 2 weeks. It would be done. And then
Yeah.
like I would and
Yeah,
then
like if my 9 to 5 was working pages, I could, even if I just worked like my schedule, like my work
yes,
schedule,
that's exactly what I'm
I
saying.
would get 5 pages, 6 pages done a week.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly
That's
what I'm
insane.
saying.
That's an insane amount of
Yep,
difference.
it is.
That's
It's significant. And that's why I'm just like, I'm thinking about it. I was like, I've been saying this is my last year in retail. Like one way or another, I can't do this anymore. I'm just
you
not,
know,
I
and
can't do it.
Tina's been giving me that push too. It's just I can't really separate. Like I struggle in the same aspect as you,
Yeah,
but like I just can't do it yet. I'm like I'm just I know we could, but
I
like I
know.
feel like I lose a part of something. Like if I do right now, like just
You need that comfort. I mean, I've been talking to her about that where I'm just like, well, I don't want to be in a position where someone could just like pull a rug out from under me. Like I feel like
that.
I've already gone through that in my life. And it's, you know, uh she's incredible. And, like the majority of my body knows that it wouldn't happen. Or at the very least, she wouldn't leave me in a position of where I'm like destitute or something, but like, I've been in a situation where I've had to completely, rebuild my life, and it's not fun. It's not something that I ever want to do again. So it is really scary to like have that much faith in a situation like that, But I don't know, dude. I'm probably going to do that after Christmas, if because like,
dude, power to you. And then honestly, like until I can do a similar thing, like we can definitely streamline a lot of stuff. Like
yeah,
you could even start laying down roughs for me, so that way I can just start like,
there's so many things we can do. Like I just
can't even like even stuff that my brain gets stuck on sometimes, like panel layouts and things like that. Like,
oh my god, for sure, dude. And like that kind of thing would be so great. And then in addition to that, we could work on so many other projects, like just like, hey, we're all caught up. We can finish Deathless much faster for sure. I mean, like I would be able to streamline the coloring situation and the lettering situation like nobody's business, So as soon as that happens, it's going to be fantastic. Then I could finally work on my books, my like novel again. I could, I want to make a damn movie, we were talking about that. And I just like, I want to do it. I want to like actually.
I do feel like we're at that point now where there needs to be, we have like the setups, we have like the places, like,
yeah,
we just need to take the leap,
Yeah.
like we definitely at that point. I feel like we could just.
Yeah, dude. And like, honestly, this is one of those like eye-opening situations where like I was initially like scared and reluctant to like flirt or be anything close to like in a relationship with her, because she was at a distance for a minute, and it was I was just like, I don't know, it's an odd situation, but like I just decided to go for it, and it's been so rewarding, like I like ridiculously rewarding. And I feel like it's one of those like fortune favors the bold situations where I'm like, at some point we have to just do it and then like see what happens, so
well, because like, and I've always said this too, like even like when something like dooming is coming, like a hurricane or like anything that like could cause you to worry at all, like we as humans always do this thing where we like literally paint the pinpoint perfect scenario where we fail in every regard and die or have a horrible situation. But the you of tomorrow is going to have different tools and different understanding of what these other potential situations are. And any problem that's going to come at you is never going to be more difficult than you're anticipating it to be the day before you choose. You know what I'm saying? Like when the storm is coming and it's looming and you're thinking of all these potential scenarios and like what could happen. And like the truth is, even if the worst case scenario happens, that version of you is going to be able to handle it. Like you're gonna survive it.
You're going to adapt one way or another.
You're gonna adapt. Like that's like one of our greatest gifts as humans, right? Is adaptation. So, yeah,
absolutely.
Rolled with it, and you adapted, and you became the happiest boy who ever lived.
It's absolutely true, dude. And so I think it just makes sense for me. And I think that's, that's where I am, or at least that's where I seem to be going. And we'll see what happens. But so far, everything's been beautiful and wonderful. Like so much so that I just like, it's almost unbelievable. Like I'm not even scared to jinx it anymore. Just one of those things where like we've just
everything. No, this is like for certain. Like there would have to be like the craziest alternative, like alternate scenario coming into play to even remotely derail.
No, and it's just been
train ship.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic situation. Like I'm hoping, like eventually that will alleviate some of these issues, for both of us in a way. But we'll see. For now, I'm still like I'm going to struggle. I'm trying to work through finding little bits of time where I can to color Deathless, and I have to start bringing the tablet to the school when I pick Atlas up. Actually, Atlas has been talking about doing karate.
That's cool,
dude. Okay, for the longest time, I was like, Atlas, you should do karate. It would be perfect for you. Like it is. It's just like something I can tell he's going, like he would love. Okay. And he was like, no. And then I found out his friends do karate. And I was like, Atlas, you should do karate with your friends. And he was like, no. And then guess what? This week out of nowhere, he was like, hey, Dad, what if I did karate with my friends? I was like, okay. So, but it's an after school program, which means if he goes in there, I would have a solid 3 to 4 hours to work on things after I get out of work every day, you know? So it's like, no matter what,
that's awesome. So it's like an after. So that's like kind of like what we have, but it's just one day a week for us. But like the girls go to the gym every Thursday, and Tina and I have made Thursdays date day. Like every day, I get off at 3, she gets off at 3, and then we just don't have to do anything with the kids till 7. So
yeah, that's exactly the case.
We get Tina and Steven time.
Yes. So it would be like every day after school, and I can pick them up anytime, like by 6. Like it ends at 6, but you could pick them up. You know, I can pick them up early. But I would have at least a couple hours. I'll go pick them up, and then we'll have dinner and like hang out together and stuff. But he would get time. You know, he'll get time with his friends. He'll get to learn karate. You know, he could be a Ninja Turtle, and I get to make comic books and like spend time with KT and be like a person sometimes. You know, so like
all that you can be.
That's right, in the army. But yeah, dude. So we'll see. Like he really wants to do that. So we're looking into it now. I'm gonna figure that out. So maybe that'll help, like, kind of dip my toe in the like, hey, I have more time to work on things. Pool.
What do I do with it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But speaking of that, what are you gonna work on this week?
I'm gonna try to finish Bloodlust as much as I can. Nice. Obviously, we have a very busy weekend coming up. However, yeah. I need to get this done because I know Chris is gonna be on top of me if I don't. So yeah. I've even thought about ways I could probably like cut a page, but it's all pretty relevant. But no, I think I can get it done. There's like 3 more pages.
So. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to try my best. Actually, I have off tomorrow, so I'll probably be able to finish coloring the page I'm working on. So like I'm gonna go for like 1.5 pages flatted, maybe more depending on like what the pages are, because I don't remember like what's next. But
I'll also send you the blood. I need to send you the Bloodlust pages that I've done, so you can letter them.
Yes.
That way we can stay caught up on that and just be finished with that too.
Yeah, so. Dude, send me that, and so I'll do 1.5 pages of Deathless flatting, and I'll letter Bloodlust for you, like as soon as you send that stuff to me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then otherwise, I do want to start. I want to start cutting clips of our show to post again, because like I feel like I give up on that a little too easily. Like as soon as if it's not immediately successful, I'm like, oh, okay, people hate it. But like I'm gonna try to cut some more clips for the future, but because I want to get more people watching our show again. Like it's. Like I've been kind of lax on social media as far as sharing it, and I mean the hurricanes didn't help. It was
and this time of year, as you and I both know, for some reason the views always dip. It seems to be like springtime is like the awakening, and then this time of year is when everything starts to slow. So
everyone's just slow. Oh man, a couple people did message me to say like they're ready for the Deathless Kickstarter, so I need to like get that posted because I need
to do an alternate cover for 3, so that can be one of the things. Maybe we'll do like a metal comic or something. I don't know. We got to figure out ways to like really
that'll be cool.
Really win with Deathless Kickstarter number 3. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready.
By the way, if you want to I just want to put this out there for the We Have Issues podcast website. Anthony, maybe you can figure it out, or you can even promote this somehow. Mm-hmm. I found a bunch of the Deathless standees from issue 2's Kickstarter. Not a bunch, but I have a few.
Okay.
And I have some catch-up package. Like I have issue 1, 2 with the standee poster boxes left. So if you want to sell, or we can, if anyone's interested in an issue 2 package that has the Marion Barreled poster, the Deathless standee, the buttons, and then issues 1 and 2, let me know. We do have a few of those, not a lot of those, but we have a few. And then I do extra standees. So
okay, so I think what you should do is like make an actual inventory of everything you have.
I'll send it to you.
And I'll post it online as like I'll find a way to go through our website store, and I'll make it like a limited thing, and we'll find a good price for those for everyone, for people. Mm-hmm. But that sounds awesome, dude. Like I also got more issue 1s. I have
awesome. I actually have been reorganizing the man cave, and this drawer is all of our comics. We have we have so many copies of issue 2, obviously, but I think I still have about like 10 or so, if not more, of issue 1.
Okay,
I have a few play it agains. I have like probably like maybe 10 of the scrapbook too.
So. Oh, nice. Okay, cool, dude. Yeah, I think when we do this next Kickstarter, I want to do a full inventory and like make sure we like stock and know what we have and are selling things like intelligently, because I know. Oh, good.
I was thinking too. We should at some point just talk to Tom. I think we need to start getting into the local comic areas too. Something we've just avoided entirely.
Yeah, well, like I've talked to people. Like I talked to the people at Hero Trader, and I asked
Uh-huh.
if they carry local comics and stuff, and the guy was like, we have, but like they don't sell very well no matter what it is, and blah blah blah. And like, he kind of was like giving me
It's
all
not
these.
really, so the local scene isn't the scene then.
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like I like we can try. Like Tom's cool, and we can get like maybe Tom would carry our comics and like push it. But it's like if no one's there trying to sell it to the people, they'll see it and just like pass it by most of the time. So I was like, what we should do is like start doing cons again. The reason we haven't is just because we didn't get the Kickstarter funds. So because that's what we were doing with all of the extra Kickstarter money. It's like they went to all.
We basically. I want you all to know
like
that I think we might have pocketed very little on the first Deathless Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, every dollar that's up would be considered profit in any of our Kickstarters literally just goes back to everything, like the podcast, the comics.
Steven, let me just tell you, between so the domain, like the website itself, only costs about like what was it, like $30 or something like that, right? But the store aspect of it costs $200 a year, or 250 or something a year. Okay.
And I know we don't sell $250. Maybe we do.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We could. We just haven't been trying. You know what I'm saying?
We really don't push anything. We're the worst marketeers ever.
Yeah. So like I was just hit with that and I was like, oh God. Like I forget.
We need to sell stuff.
Yeah, I forget that happens anyway, but like we'll figure it out. I'm excited for the third Kickstarter. But yeah, so thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the episode, we know that you probably watched more than one episode. This probably isn't your first. If this is your first episode, please comment below and let us know. But thank you all. Thank you for joining us. Steven, I love you. I'm so excited to hang out with you this weekend. It's going to be a good time. I can't freaking wait. Should I bring my guitar or anything? Or like what?
Yeah, might as well. I have a couple acoustics here now too, though, because Tina has a Taylor Mini. So
I can play. I'll play that Taylor Mini.
And dude, it's amazing. Like I can play it, and it's like literally just guitar on easy mode because my hands can literally make any formation. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. But thank you all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for participating in this colony of ours that we've been building. Hopefully you'll stick around for the next week. Let us know if you have any questions or comments or suggestions of topics. Otherwise, Steven, what do you want to say to the people?
Thank you so much for being patient. I know I've been very absent this last month, like off and on. So I very much appreciate you tuning in every week and showing love and support to my best friend in the world over here. Thank you for being my friend and just supporting my dream all the time. You guys are wonderful human beings, and I love each and every one of you.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we appreciate you, and we hope to see you next week. I'm Anthony.
I am Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next time.
Ooh.
You have anything that we should talk about that I should know about?
We're done with hurricane talk because we already had a hurricane catch-up talk, and we don't need to talk about that monster anymore. Nah. I've been playing some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you want to talk about that, that might get us some clicks if we put it in our title, because that's super popular right now. It's really cool, by the way. There's alternate storylines if you beat, like, from the series, for example. I'm just giving you a brief synopsis, but like, you know how Goku's supposed to hold Raditz and then Piccolo kills both of them?
Yeah.
Well, you can beat Raditz and then Goku lives, but then the Saiyans come and Goku never dies and learns Kaioken. So now you have to fight Vegeta and Nappa with Goku and his friends. And then
that's cool.
And then like you beat Vegeta, and then Vegeta, like, instead of like becoming your enemy, like, says Frieza's coming to take the Dragon Balls on Earth. So then Frieza comes to Earth, and it's like the whole timeline changes. It's pretty cool.
I love that. That's cool.
Cool. It's pretty awesome.
Instead of just like perfectly following everything, you can actually affect it. And like, that's really cool.
There's certain battles where you can change the outcome. Like I beat Cell as Goku. So since I did that, Gohan never got to fight Cell. And that is like, it's pretty cool.